All right, welcome to week 3 of web marketing, writing for the web. What we're going to be talking about this week is basically design. Now, I know a lot of people are probably thinking to themselves, this is really a writing class. Why, this is really not a web design class. Why are we concerned about design? And it comes down to a few kind of primary reasons. Um, Based on your website design, your content needs to integrate with that design in a successful fashion. And so many times if you can help move content to the forefront of the design process, your content message and your overall web design is going to be more focused for your actual end user. And so the things that we're going to be talking about today, the first thing that we're going to spend some time talking about is sort of the process to how you develop content and design together. I'm going to talk about this for a few minutes here in this first video. And then in the next video, I'm going to spend some time talking about color, because text color frequently turn off or potentially not even work for some of your viewers. And then we're going to spend some time talking about space. Space and text need to have an important relationship that's successful. And then finally, the last thing that we're going to spend some time talking about is typography. Make sure I spelled that right. Okay, and so let's take a minute, and I want to go over and clear that off and spend some time actually kind of looking through the text and talking about the design process. Design process is one that is frequently heavily design process frequently is guided by, at least initially, by your web designers, the folks who are actually kind of laying out the pages and figuring out what's going to go, what the structure, the navigation is going to look like. And this is obviously, they need to be incorporated into the whole conversation, just as the content writers need to be incorporated into the whole conversation. And so the author of our book here is going to spend a lot of time, as you'll see, kind of suggesting that, let me get over to this page, that process needs to be an inclusive process with all the members involved. And so let's kind of take a look at her guidelines here. First off is that we need to integrate content from the very beginning of the process. And then the next one, we need to build in flexibility and universal usability. This is an important one that we're going to talk about a lot today. Universal usability basically means that, are we reaching out to people who are colorblind? Are we reaching out to people who are deaf? Are we reaching out to people with poor eyesight? You'd be amazed at how many people actually fall into one of these categories, at least at some point in their life or some point in their website using face. So all things that we need to consider and think about. The next thing that the author is going to talk about down here is the relationship between, obviously here, color, space, typography. So integrating content and design from the beginning is really important, because frequently what will happen is you'll see that a website will be designed, and then after the site is designed, or while it's being designed, the web designers will come through and they'll just Greek the text, or what's called sometimes is referred to as Greeking the text. And so if you take a look here in page layout, any place where there's should be text, they'll frequently come and copy and paste some text, something along the lines of this. And as you can see, this is just blank text, Latin, that is used to fill the space on the page. Now the problem, once again, that I mentioned is that the main point of your website, a web site equals a conversation. And if your entire design is not incorporating this conversation, you can't really have your conversation here and your design over here. The two really need to be working together in a symbiotic relationship. So what the author is going to suggest is that you really avoid that process and you avoid Greeking of the text,